She aban yi ba yi. When say onya busumi nsiampo.
Abusumi mienza.
Then so because the onya 1 year.
When the NDC falls, the nation temporarily falls because the reins of power have been given to the NDC.
Me su omo de me nka so mu wo mfa me ko. From now to November no obia owo man be hu sa ampa. Ampa be se pani ko ni haban your kwan yetase.
Instead of supporting the government in power to build a nation, your prayer topic is that the NDC should fall. What a joker.
Paper G Yera Tamils. I mean, no obu. No, we odi no. Or some bad the second John. They say third John, I have West. Because he say, no, on you be any accountable because the constitution limited. This is
4 years.
Last time, 4 years. In the end, on you be accountable.
Politicians in my country and this part of the world do not care about integrity, neither do they care about patriotism. All they care about votes.
Now you see, they should know that pride comes before a fall. Now more dear, I'm a fall leader. I shall see and tell to do. Not could be a bind be at least 1 year or 2 years now. No master, no they being koye. But more dear, the busumi siampum by me. Me mbom dia. By next year, but you mean you know won't scandals at the P.
Somebody has to fall. Somebody has to go down the doldrums before you can shine. And you call that a shine? This one to be shine? What a shame! And Annoh Dompre is still speaking.
Blakk Rasta, nebo ofua obo gumbi, any supplement. And I nebo pin say, Black, me who be say be that na a day, and was a yebribi, and bibi I say. Honorable Frank Annoh Dompre, I in Sawam Adwajiri, MP, ake kan sembi. Etia omampanyina what you say ene na aban na ebusua mewuram no what ya say na je say enunti ena Blakk Rasta ne buafu a obogumbe ene supplement ensa ben ena Honorable Annoh Dompre aka me chirem no what ya say aha eye AJ gossips me sure say obeche wa for video ho no wi a wa share nso ama wona ebisa atumi aka say won subscribe ya me sure say obe subscribe no aba adoma ne so na wa select all said be ya ye drop video bi a won sabeka if you breaking them down man eti ase ne hu de enti a Blakk Rasta atoama ne eye Honorable Frank Annoh Dompre 82 days ago and Honorable ekopie mu e wo Asase Pa FM e wo bono hene e show so eye etumpan show ti omodi nkomo no e na bono hene ebusa ne say ye beto aba no basa bi ko so e wo ne mpeswa so ho e ma ne share ne experiences e yawo ene chese amane a wo fa mu na chese ne tie tom nya ne say NDC for edene fa ya omu wo bra na ye to aba
enti ye koye de din se no kompo so mo share presiding officer no mo share ne kete no declare ti mi kakra na me ma soldier for me police for bi bo me ho ban ye fa presiding officer ne share kam di dwane ye enti ono ko wi na aka me akasa me free hall ho menua mpeni se inso bu akasa bu na ngasa brebre abo mo pai me say just Parliament kai kra mo say ni nyina na nkrofo mu ditro to the extent that me hu so mo sheda kiro mo so mo ditro a me mo wa me dwane ye no mo se me mo na tutu ekoye ho ya ye wie ye no afei wo so wodi nkunim ade ye nyina so mo so wodi nkunim ye pink sheet no mo tete pink sheet no mo tete pink sheet nyina but no mo refi se so hwe CIA the year 2024 elections na
constitutional instrument.
Yes, and ma options pink sheet no your original copy here electoral office and KP and then your ma duplicate copies at the ma reps no political party reps no in the event of a moment them run by is the way the SI bit make for way the as a buffer enti come on in crofo mo bu crofo mo titi electoral commissioners for the na ye no we set up a buffer system. Your resource ni na no. Ni scan your resource ni na. All 203 polling station pension ni scan ni na.
Backup.
Backup. The time mo titi pension no mo say backup so on. Say two there dey no say okay. Omo collect 160 polling station out of 203. Na mo so mo pray my collect bim. Na mo no mo din kudim. Can you imagine?
Na what din kudim am yan kan ye.
Enti we are seeing and say Bekofodia, your regional office, East regional office, how could declare. And also see a call, only continue for ya, but some of my yanking kind. You feel a course take and so someone penny. Your bar test on Waha, I'm someone penny. And now your legal counsel, Gary Marco said there be. He will come under, make an application to High Court for an act of mandamus. So one share easy because Constitution in my coins on no so quality no declare. I mean charge your court na consumer coins and go declare. Non quality na IGP my bamboo and more than a year. Now so said sign no more takra o Jim bibi o mudi see anything. Tama High Court ma order say monkoye coalition and declare no omu decide so omu bakra because they realize that so omu ba money we there the call quality ye and omu declare me. We are the chair no masan table the court Supreme Court. And then yenya menkwa all of I think all 9 of us normally a court Supreme Court. Ya mencha di nyame ade obeye no mu yi meme die and I think one other constituency and Supreme Court Justice can say no die it should be sustained. And in enu na mu san table yes ade kokofodia. It's kofodia ye go back and forth I think there was a strategy. So you disrupted him so that he can concentrate in Parliament. But na me media essence na ye won nyina so nti no na de omo ye nyina na mmom hu because at the end of the day wo de baako ka baako ho amienu
yeah
nti na anu ya woda ena atemu aboafo no e de na temu bai na asem o kan na ye de kra ne se ohun se krofo na boapayo because na bibia de adanse ye se medi nkunim ena na titiru na court ba time so a rule yakase medi nkunim nti on tia se so mo san tabi ade no e de ba High Court e ba bedwana so
because ade Supreme Court atena so wie de na sign the kokofodua
Supreme Court etena so wie no so only court ni nya adwan you would have called for review mo anyesa nti o wie no san bomb ka 25,000 so muntia and for me as a first respondent
it after come we say no e na oba be kire mu say ono no de onim say NDC for ebe fail but no onim say ebe ye ntem saa ni nyina no eye amamu a ekoso empempem a ono de onim say ka first John abakọ second John 18 ka third John abayi de enkobeto to ne maye but wa said the AC corner na say senepa enkoye
well baby omo na yesi obusa question but I think some mini seat no omo dream say and the lead up to omo presidential primaries then candidates John Mahama was yes one number 4 omo branch officers ni mu okohia omo no ekokom ehia mu no koye okacho mo say bibi bi ombe ya omo member parliament bi omo nyema member parliament ena bibi say ade nti o say no me na me ha omo na bi no ma bi am person me bi the parliament bi am me pass me bo am pass they should make sure I don't come into almost so submit die ekwan bi aso mo member
because we had
well omo ma dwen mu no sa na ye omo na sabi say I can see na esi me no kwakosi akanya me nyina ho a me so wa ho den na me ye kwakosi akanya me nyina ma ho sisi me eno je me emba so eye ya say ye nyina ye kikiro man ye nyina from Kwame Nkrumah mresu besi ene Ghana ye nyina o man Ghana ye nyina ye man na aban sesa na wakoye sesa bi mpreduasa ye di ekurita na esi na je say wo je say wo nya NDC ni say wo nya nipa o bunu he say dey ko ba o man mu so wo nya NDC ni you are not a card bearing member of the NDC wo nya obi o kasa ma NDC ni wo nya Ghana ni bi
to safety cry
and no na ma o man yi na me dem gidi say mpeni se futuo de ensa credipa agin so hwe ye kan ye Ghana for ye catch him se papa ye nimu no first join hu de obeye in fact ye wura a wonya ne baby call ye wura Tamils amemu a no mbu a na wam ba mo wu be fa no nyame fa de kransie a papa be gi ye wura Tamils amemu a no obu no owie when odi ye no osam ba the second John he say third John I west because he say no oni obi ani akuntabuo bia because the constitution limited no this is 4 years last time 4 years in the end oni obi obu akuntabia le kansem wo nyina kire Ghana for yes o there be MPP for mo maye mo ade ya mama o maye mo ade yes say Ghana for nsase yes say Ghana nsuo nti omo na mo gina simpie so eko nsuo tifia ko ho na ba na afo bibusa se ho na ho no ye ene ye hwe omo ene bibi omo ye gina o timu se hwe aban yi ba ye When say onya boso mi nsiampo
abeso mi ensa
na so be kasa de onya 1 year we be kasa de onya 1 year na me su amu de me nka so mu wo mfa me ko from now we see November no obia wo man we behu sa ampa be se pani ko ni haban your kwan ya tase no it mean ya my impressions so far no it is on and off otimi yes or a diplomat or kankasa pa na osan de bibi abom eno ono am fronta or the farm crop so. You can't tell me the chief of staff actual letter. I could say you tell me the president doesn't know about it. No, it can't be. The president knows about it. And money rain fee in some cases, me I thought that first John, second John, third John, oh just one term. Ye bibina Ghana for fanya day and fan Kyle.
Ye Japadie.
Yes. Who they say no any Japadie mpoa. Jajim pabi. So once out the campaign can say no may be a president for intimianya no. This time Obabe yes adienina. And no buy us adienina kwa na ekodechi. Agrobe so a efranopa. Bibia den di say oni bibi foforo bia de man. Okay. Say omo ba bebe yi nkrofo di say de omo ye di no. No mo di NDC for a shedwum. That's what they're doing. As I do onsa tia e chiro bi so. Onsa dia kan nyina chire wo so. Okay. Inti say hey, if that is the case, say sa na tia. Na che sa ban wonim na dwuma ye. Say sa no mo kan say ye MPP for mum ni ye cocaine ya. Any ban way has no business being in government. Because what it means is that your borders are porous. You are not on top of security issues. Now, how would you sit down and a government like NDC, but now say MPP4? No more credit people yo where they call a very state institutions could be nyamnasa. It is not the case. They know about it. Omunim hubi.
Omunya aware of cocaine na titi.
Oh, minya. Omunim hubi. Omunim baby efire. The wire no ni baby oshe. Now you see, they should know that pride comes before a fall. Now mo dear am fall the ashase entem dodo. No could be a ban be at least 1 year or 2 years na no master no ze bi nkoye. But mo dear de bosumi nsiampom ba da me mbo mu dua. By next year. Bro you know na wokrum ha. Bo scandals de pie.
Ebusanti nsam yi na kire se aboafo bi aboa enomakukuru no se ya etufa akwakoto eye Blakk Rasta epono so se bem na ebusan Blakk Rasta ensa kaaye na ostena city nsam no study ye for over 1 hour interview one eye bono hene eye me kire wonabo Frank Annoh Dompre ene bono hene eye no enya bono hene o I host no edin na de bono hene enti Blakk Rasta study wi ye tie mu nsam ne na na minim se wo de anka wo ye minority chief whip jesa wo na wo da dom kuma na no a wo boabo ma no ne ade ensem se na wo ka ene esum na de ebe ewo.
When people like Annoh Dompre speak, I honestly don't waste my time on the content, but for the benefit of people who might be misled to think that some dishonorables labeled as honorables are making any sense, it is all in the service of the country. We would have to come and clear these misconceptions. Now, my brother, my sister, to those who do not know who Annoh Dompre is, he was the ringleader in the breaking of tables and breaking of microphones in the Parliament House a few weeks back. He arrogantly stood his who might be misled to think that some dishonorables labeled as honorables are making any sense. It is all in the service of the country. We would have to come and clear these misconceptions. Now, my brother, my sister, to those who do not know who Annoh Dompre is, he was the ringleader in the breaking of tables and breaking of microphones in the Parliament House a few weeks back. He arrogantly stood his 2 feet and challenged anybody, my brother, my sister, when it came to the breaking of these tables and microphones that the taxpayer, my brother, my sister, struggle through thick and thin to pay for. Up till now, my brother, my sister, we do not know whether these people have been made to pay for the carelessness they meted out to the Ghanaian populace. In fact, for the barbarism they meted out to the Ghanaian public. You know who a barbaric person is? My brother, my sister, somebody who destroys for no reason. That is a barbaric person. My brother, my sister, that is a vandal. My brother, my sister, now let's make it very clear. Annoh Dompre should never be a role model to anybody yet to be born or even born, let alone those who died. A fine gentleman. He was also a broadcaster. In fact, in the media, all of a sudden, because power corrupts, these were the people in power, my brother, my sister, and they did everything possible to undermine the integrity of this nation. Arresting journalists left, right, and center. In fact, picking them and taking them to the so-called national security and beating the hell out of them. Caleb Kuda in my mind. My brother, my sister, Annoh Dompre was the ringleader, I said, in the breaking of tables in the Parliament House and the breaking of microphones. In fact, the Speaker of Parliament was so embarrassed. The integrity of this country dwindled down the drain of carelessness and nonchalant behavior, irresponsible behavior, and had to suspend Annoh Dompre. His party members came in, making all the ugly noises. Probably under pressure, this guy here was reinstated. To those who don't remember this, we remember that he was still arrogantly running around and talking like somebody with no common sense. What does Blakk Rasta mean by this? Do we all remember that it was the same Annoh Dompre, this honorable, who went out asking for violence, my brother, my sister, amongst NDC and NPP members? Yet when this violence starts, these are the cowards that don't even emerge. My brother, my sister, we all remember this, and when it comes to our nation, we must defend it with all our flesh, blood, and bones. We fought so hard to give ourselves our independence. We did not want any white man's rule. No more colonialism and imperialism. Our forefathers and torchbearers fought so hard and gave this to us through sweat and blood. And this is contained in our national anthem and pledge. So when we see honorables who all of a sudden become dishonorables, breaking chairs and tables in the Parliament House and breaking microphones, we have to speak truth to power. But let me get to the meat of the whole discussion. My brother, my sister, what is Annoh Dompre saying? He says he expected the NDC to fall, but not this early. You see, when people are doing everything they can to see the downfall of a nation, it doesn't matter to them who is in power except them. If they are not in power, they will do everything possible to bring down the other party that is in power, forgetting that it is all about the nation and not about party politics. My brother, my sister, politicians are so disingenuous when it comes to patriotism. They have the least iota of patriotism. They don't care about the nation. All they care about the votes they will get at the end of it all. If I am wrong, tell me I am wrong, and I will apologize with my blood. Politicians in my country and this part of the world do not care about integrity, neither do they care about patriotism. All they care about votes. What can I do to give me votes? Even if it means killing millions, they will do that to get billions of votes. Anything to give them votes, they will do. Unfortunately, we also have a populace that is not that patriotic. Everybody is selfish. We are looking for what we can put in our pockets and our stomachs. So we don't care what politicians do to our nation. It's not about our nation anymore. It's all about gimmicks, jingoisms, and gymnastics. That is why people like Annoh Dompre can say this. My brother, my sister, why should the NDC fall? When the NDC falls, the nation temporarily falls because the reins of power have been given to the NDC. Instead of supporting the government in power to build a nation, your prayer topic is that the NDC should fall. What a joker. My brother, my sister, that is why they can come with propaganda, nasty, stinking, smelling propaganda. There are 2 aeroplanes containing cocaine. Very soon they will come and tell you that there are factories that are built in the jungle producing cocaine in this country. By so doing, they think that they are bringing down the government of the NDC, totally forgetting and missing the point that they are collapsing this country called Ghana. I'm so ashamed of these guys. Do you remember? Just before Mahama took over the reins of this nation, they prophesied as false prophets, the false prophets that they are, that Dumso was returning to this country. They proclaimed doom in the name of Dumso for the nation. What crop of politicians do we have so ingeniously irresponsible? Why must you wish that the nation will be thronged in a disaster so that you can shine? What kind of evil people are this? Your shine depends on whether somebody falls or dies. What kind of shine is this? Somebody has to fall. Somebody has to go down the doldrums before you can shine. And you call that a shine? This one to be shine? What a shame! And Annoh Dompre is still speaking. This cocaine MP, my brother, my sister, they try to arrest him, and party hood rats run all over the place, helter-skelter, my brother, my sister, preventing the security personnel from doing their work. And you call this a democracy? What kind of a democracy is this? Democracy or partisan politics? When we are not in power, Ghana does not exist. When we are in power, that is when we think that we have to work for votes and not necessarily for the benefit of the nation. Shame on you, Annoh Dompre.
God bless our homeland Ghana. Oh yes, God must bless our homeland Ghana, because God and bless ya the ebekoso ene the ebesi no, because and the way beka someone na way abeso ni mu na waboni gumbe we so beka na ne wama ne supplement we so beka mama ne firemen ebusia Honorable Frank Annoh Dompre ensema ma utie ye no ehun reply e na kire se Blakk Rasta ascende e de amano no onso so adwen kire ene sen one Blakk Rasta eya adwene ananse one no enya adwene one na enya adwene awadwen kire ene sen comment section no eye wo dia wadaroma kire wadwen wo ho na bibia no emo akamakama enya atemdidie amanwesem enya bufuo enye kire se basabasa ye enya didiatem kire wadwen e wo comment section na bibia no emo akamakama aha eye AJ Gossips medawase na mama omo ene hye edin no e di AJ Magraheb.